and our thought, behavior, and action will will have a big gap between the two. So I understood that I am a seeker. I'm a seeker. I'm a husband later. First, I'm a seeker, and the seeker becoming a husband and talking to honey. Seeker becoming a father and talking to the daughter. So that awareness should be there. That awareness, if that awareness is there, then we bring about a change in our behavior and attitude. And from there we become a qualified seeker. That is the message given in this mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu. We both be blessed. So, whom I am talking to, not only in this session, teacher and the seeker, but the seeker is here. Oh, label is a father, but internally, what daughter is going to teach me today? What it means? Any problem, any normal talking? I live into that awareness in communication, in physical action, in thoughts. That is going to change our behavior and attitude. Otherwise, meditation we will remain in the box inside and we will not change outside. That is very important. Sahana bhunaktu. We enjoy both. So we enjoy every moment. Why? Every moment is an opportunity. I was just giving an example. That I'll talk in later, but I'm just giving one example that the mind is dictated by programmed by the nature, one impulsive nature, and then the human mind is also dictated by the past impression. So I'm in a hurry. I have to rush to a place. Garage door is closed. I sit inside the car, start it, and without opening the garage door, I want to reverse the car. That is what the mind does. That is the meaning of impulsive mind. That is the meaning of. So the mind has created a projection that I'm in a hurry, so I have to leave it. And it forgets to open the garage door. So instead of anxiety, I have to enjoy every moment. Oh, you are in a hurry? Yes. So use the intellect. Intellect has picked up the key. Yes. It has started the car. Yes. The intellect then says it is inside the garage. Let me open the garage. And then, oh yes, let me check it. Your anxiety is gone. That is the meaning of maybe enjoy. But we have to apply this in every moment. If we don't apply the result and the experiences of that meditation into our daily life, we are not a monk. We are not sitting in the Himalayas and sitting in a monastery. We are living a personal life, professional life, family life. So we need to do it. That is Sa Viryam Karva Vahe. Intellectually absorb, assimilate, and digest. We don't digest. Why we don't digest? We don't assimilate. Why we don't assimilate? The mind takes over the intellect. And when we say that the mind takes over the intellect, it is programmed by the nature, one, and it is programmed by the past impressions. So we both have these impressions in the mind. Then we don't have that active participation. Tejasvina vadhitamastu. May intellect be alert, vigilant, and brilliant. Mind, you don't interfere. You are in a hurry, okay. Intellect says, okay, you remain in a hurry. I will do in my own way, step by step. What I'm saying, that is the message. How to explain this principle? Who are you? So you are Taurus. Very good. So what you do, you see, step by step, progressive knowledge. Knowledge is progressive. That is how the intellect understands. So what you do, I do my business. Where you live, I live in that country. And by perception, I know your gender. So the knowledge is step by step. So first, I have to allow the intellect to follow the progressive step. So, on one hand, we are doing the practice of meditation. I live in higher awareness. There, I merge it with the intellect, and now I am doing all the activities. It becomes a nitya karma. Mind, mind says, I'm doing it. I'm in a hurry. I have to rush. I have to go there. It works with the likes and dislikes. It works with the pain and pleasure. It works with the profit and loss. So their intellect should calm down. No profit, no loss. Let me see how best I can perform this action. Then only you are bringing that wisdom into your daily life. That is why I say, that is why I always ask the question, did you apply the principles in your daily life? Mind is not listening. Okay, no worries. No worries. Om Namah Shivaya. Mind is not listening. Om Namah Shivaya. Mentally, internally you are doing. Om Namah Shivaya. I see the Shiva everywhere. I see the Shiva in the daughter, honey, employees, everywhere. Om Namah Shivaya. So you are minimizing that emotional turbulence in daily life. Now the time has come to apply these teachings in your. If you don't apply this, then what will happen? The meditation will be separate from your daily activities. And then the behavior and attitude will not change. Whatever the behavior and attitude coming from the mind will continue. I believe you are getting it.
Yeah, it's what's happened.
So this is what that will help your mind to get purified. So your mind, your intellect will compare the past event with the person went through with lot of hesitation. Now today I followed this principle and I was able to maintain the calm and the poise. My mind did not dictate me with the impulses and the past impression. Then you will experience, yes, this is the right approach to reach to the highest state of realization. So we laid down, you have already heard, our masters have laid down the Mangala Charan, any mantra. You wake up in the morning and check, is the mind dictating you or the intellect? Intellect will remind you that I have to do the Mangala Charan every day. Let me sit for a while. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu sarve bhavantu sukhna, or Saum Sahana. Even not in Sanskrit, but you can just say to yourself, oh, this is. Now, today in the morning you forget it. It is because of the mind. It is because of the nature is dictating. It is because the past impression are dominant. It follows this. You teach hundred of things to your dog, but in the end, you show him, hey, come. So he says, oh, food is there. Give me. That is the nature of the mind. So these principles helps us to change. To change. Why the dog does this? Dictated by, programmed by the nature. So I have to check, my mind is programmed by the nature. Oh, you did not follow me, so I'm angry and I'm agitated. Intellect says, no way, hold on, that's not your job. Can I have a better option? Can I change my behavior and attitude? Can I respond in a better way? That is the meaning of the Mangalacharan. So, what is going to happen in this way? We discussed in detail the of four groups. What is the four group? The first group I discussed about the samsara. According to the Buddha, the world is suffering. So not only I simply take it, but I have to understand step by step. Oh, world is suffering. From where I experience in the mind. What is happening in the mind? What is happening in the mind? Past impression, I wake up in the morning and the past impression goes to the mind. The mind projects, I have a headache, I will not attend the session. Why? Because I like to relax, I cannot focus. Now, another projection by the mind. Then comes the likes and dislikes, then attachment and detachment, then the desire, then the six enemies, then the impurities of the mind has taken over me. This world I have created is suffering. Can I recognize early in the morning when I wake up? Every day you wake up. That is why the importance of daily practice. So, not only the meditation practice, but your practice also includes the Mangalacharan. You wake up in the morning and the first you remind yourself of the Mangalacharan. Then the intellect says whatever the physical practices you are doing, it's okay, or breathing you are doing okay. And then you sit in meditation. So every day. So when you follow it every day, the mind, you see what happens? That is the phase of purification of the mind. Now the mind has been creating these positive impressions in the storehouse of the mind. All the impressions coming from the nature and the past, here it is. Here is the mind. I am doing regular practice of Mangalacharan and then continue to do and then I follow the practice. At present it is done, but it is still creating more impressions. It comes at par. It comes here. Your intellect will always be active every day in the morning. That is very important. Intellect should take over the mind. How it comes? By satsang. That is out of the four groups. This is the second group, second principle. So what happens when you attend and first time you recognize, today I did not react it. I'm not agitated. That's really good. So your experience today is compared with the past experiences. Then intellect should come. That is the part of the satsang. Then the intellect says, okay, now I will respond in this way. You carry forward. So this is what I say, the realization and experiences. But this realization and experiences, before that satsang, before that samsara world is suffering recognition, all the three aspects helps my intellect to remember, to recall, to revise, to repeat. What is happening? It is going to purify the mind. Mental purification. Now, what exactly is the mental purification? If the glass is clean, the cup is clean, I don't need a purification. I've already cleaned all my glasses in the cup and it is lying in the shelf, and then I pick up, consciously I pick up and I use it. What is that state? That state is the righteous intellect. It is the righteous. Intellect knows. Yesterday, mind, you cleaned everything, you have put there on the shelf, so intellect is aware of it. So, this is the first aspect of the mental purification. Don't go too far, don't try to create a story or imagination. It is here and now. Am I focused on what I'm going to talk to you? Yes, I'm fully aware. Internally, who is aware? Intellect. And then intellect sends the words to the mind, and the mind starts speaking. So righteous intellect is the first. Then we say the dispassion intellect. So it means I live in the state of discernment. Same example, I sit in the car, garage is closed, my intellect says open the garage. Mind is in a hurry, it says reverse the car with closed garage. Why it happens? Because of the strong likes and dislikes. You're talking to your daughter, and the mind says blast her. Intellect says hold on. Dispassion. So from the discernment, that dispassion intellect, it means what happens? I'm applying these principles in my daily life. In my daily life. So once you have the righteous intellect and the dispassion intellect, which is taking over the mind, first time you will experience the emotions. You have you have questions related to that. I don't have that emotion. It's all about no. Because that emotion, pure emotion, is hiding. And the negative emotion is suppressed. So I have to release it. So the love intellect will take over. Because it is the intellect who says, I love you, I care you. First, the intellect says, I love you and I care you. A recognition, a cognition takes place in the intellect. Very subtle aspects of the practice is sadhana. And then what happens, once we have all the three intellect, we can recognize easily. We can have a glimpse of the real self. And that is what I say, the real self intellect. Waves are there, storm is there, yes. But the real self intellect perceives water alone is true. The rest are constantly changing. Intellect reminds the mind. Don't get worried about the storm. Don't get worried about. One guy sent an email to me before the session. I have a lot of challenges in the body. What should I do? But one thing, I will definitely attend the session. It is his intellect. Mind will give 100 excuses. You are wrong, you are right. Wrong, right, likes and dislikes. So my emotion, negative emotion, goes with the likes and dislikes. So how can I feel the right emotion? Very important. Very, very important. So these four, so that is how the mind is purified by the intellect. Then what happens? I already discussed, but I want to discuss in practical terms. Then what happens that once we have four types of intellect, that intellect is active. Mind is also active because of the past impression and because of the nature. Both are active. So at least previously the intellect was not active, but now intellect is also active. So mind wants to react. Intellect says, don't you have a faith? You have done so much. You have reacted many a times. Now there is no reason. Do you have a power of faith? Mind follows it. So because of that power of the faith in the intellect, you have a power of decision. What is that decision of? Mind. Why you are not opening the garage door first before you reverse the car? Apply this in your daily life. Oh, let me listen to her before I say anything. Let me see that what exactly she is looking for or he is looking for in this situation, and then you have already seen when I went to deal, went to deal with the car. So you see, you can apply that in your life. You are happy, even if one says, I'm not giving you a car, don't give me. Who cares? Don't give me. I'm happy. So after 3 months, one seller sent an email that, you have come to me and I'm ready to give you the car on the same condition which I said I already have it. Now look at the frustration he has, the same frustration I will have if I follow the mind. So I looked into the sheet, but I wrote back that I already have a car for another 3 years, but after 3 years, I will remember you and I will come back to you. Yeah, say. So you see the power of faith, power of decision, and Patanjali says the premeditation is dharana. So here now you can understand a bigger picture of this power to hold on the mind, that is known as dharana. What the intellect says, mind follows it. You are asking the mind to follow. Why you say you have not given me a good rule, so don't talk to me, I don't want to talk to you. Why you say that? Power to hold on the mind to clarity. You continue with these three powers: power of faith, power of decision, power to hold on the mind. You are already in meditation. When? All the time. I'm making it simple. You have to contemplate and reflect on this. You're already in the state of meditation. In any situation. But how to recognize it? So one master beautifully explained it, that now the intellect becomes famous in life. Previously the mind was famous, so it was causing a lot of problems, reaction, anxiety and anger. Now the intellect has become famous. You wake up in the morning rested, you sleep in the night rested. Very subtle changes should come. We are preparing a very strong foundation so that we reach to that state. So So he says the intellect becomes very famous. We don't become famous in social media, but it becomes famous inside. Why it becomes famous? In every thought, speech, and action, behavior, and attitude, whatever the intellect says, the mind follows. That is why it is famous. Another point, that now I don't have an emotional dependence. Emotional dependence comes because of likes, dislikes, attachment, detachment, because I have a certain way of thinking. You leave this. Mind, you forget about this. Emotional dependence to emotional freedom. From there, you will start having an emotional experiences. Another facet of this journey, the transformation is taking place. A sense of recognition has come. What kind of a recognition? Why you are pursuing the path for so long? Because you are emotionally connected to it, because you have a love for this self-discovery. That is why you are connected. But the mind, because of the nature and the past impression, does not recognize it. Why you continue with what is the just continue to earn money, prepare the radar, sell it, and enjoy. Why we are doing it? Because I have some love for the real self. That starts becoming clear in your life. Now it comes in front. It is hidden inside, but now that comes in front by the sadhana. That's why for the last 40 years there is nothing to talk about except the Eastern wisdom. I have a love for the Eastern wisdom. Do you see that? Just love for the Eastern wisdom. So we don't recognize this love, this emotional connection. Now what happens? Then what happens is Buddha says compassion. This master uses another good word, helpfulness. You are in the mode of a helpfulness because you are evolving and you get an opportunity. Somebody says, I have a lot of stress, so you get another opportunity to evolve yourself and evolve others. That is your session. So your intellect maintains that awareness. Oh, this is what the intellect. Buddha sat under a tree and he reached to the state of the mindfulness. And is it not possible for me? Buddha was also a human being. I said it is 100% possible. How it is possible? I said leave everything. Buddha also left his family. And that go into the mountain for a month. Buddha spent 6 years. But first you spend only a month there. Then I will come and teach you. And also find out that there is a big tree, so that you can also awaken yourself under a tree, the way the Buddha has done. This is the pure impurity of the mind, because I have not seen how Buddha reached to that state of enlightenment. So, at a very primary level of a seeker, I guide them. I'm reminding you that I should have adaptability and resourcefulness like a crow. It's a beautiful verse, I don't remember. I'll tell you the verse. People sing, Shwan Nidra Tathaivacha. We have already heard the story, and we have also might have seen practically. You have a big jar, the water is half, and the crow puts a pebble into it, the water level rises, and he drinks. That is the resourcefulness and adaptability. Crow has that intelligence. So the master is saying we should have the adaptability like a crow. Situation I did not create. I did not dream of an adverse situation tomorrow. The next moment. I don't know how my relations are going to react or behave or propose. I don't know. Adaptability. Then focus like a swan. Focus like a swan. And tamoguna like a dog. Dog is always alert. Sleeping, you make a little noise and wakes up. But that comes after a long time. But it comes. Fourth is the mitahar, the measured diet. I should be mindful of what I'm eating. Today I ate these food and it gives me more sleepiness and fatigue. Oh, can I change it? So beyond the likes and dislikes, I regulate the diet practically. What is going to happen? This gives you the fifth. You will have a sense of detachment from the body. So all these aspects live in the intellect. You use it, you apply it in your daily, personal, professional, social, family life. It is going to, you will see that a lot of changes have started coming to my life. You'll have a sense of calmness and relaxation, peace and the poise. You wake up in the state of calmness, you sleep in the state of the calmness. Before that, impulsive mind, I feel very much tired, so let me fall into sleep. Now there is no tiredness. When you lose that tiredness, replaced by restfulness and calmness, even before going to the sleep, then it becomes like a dog. Live with the little awareness, you can wake up. Otherwise, you fall into sleep. People normally talk of awakening by doing the meditation, but they don't talk about these changes are going to help you to awaken. We don't see those changes. My master, I still remember, used to say that you see that from Delhi you travel to my ashram, and as you approach to the ashram, that heat waves leaves you and you start feeling some coolness. I'm approaching the real self, so I should feel on the journey some changes, restfulness, calmness. Did you understand it by this metaphor?
Yeah. And
You see, I should feel that. Otherwise, what people do, they continue to keep their past impression, reaction, but they are the best in meditation, they are the worst in behavior and attitude. No, it is not going to work. It is not going to work at all. It is not going to. I have to experience those changes in my attitude, in my doing. Business, you earn 20 million, why 10 million only? But the mind is not there to earn 20 million. Mind says, I'm earning for pleasure. Intellect is there, let me earn. So once you listen to it again and again and contemplate and reflect, I converted into 5E. Did I talk about 5E?
yeah,
That I converted into 5E. Engagement. So through the intellect, I'm engaging the mind. Mind is in anxiety. Intellect says engage in calmness. Drop dislikes and dislikes. Everything is happening internally. Engagement, education, empowerment. So third word is empowerment is very important. Now the intellect is learning how to live with the power of dispassion, how to live with the power of love, how to live with the power of huh? power of power to hold on. Changes will start coming. You'll have a glimpse of the real self. And then we are going to complete these 40 steps. So, and then I also discussed about 5S in a different way. So, why I'm giving a different perspective? So, you pick up any perspective. Sadhana means the practices. Today, now my Rajoguna is very active. No, let the Rajoguna should be mixed with Satoguna. Is very important. It comes through the intellect. Otherwise, we create more pressure in the body while breathing. And then we are actually doing the practice and feeling the change. Sadhana, practice. Sadhaka is the seeker. I've already told you about the seeker. Sadhya is the goal. Do I remember the real self? Can I see the real self? Your intellect reminds you it cannot be seen by the senses and the mind. Mind, you are wasting your effort. You purify the mind. That is your job. And then what happens? That is a tremendous change. I explained you logically, rationally before, and once we are awakened, so we are known as the Siddha. But then what happens? The transformation in my personality life. What is that transformation? I become a sadhu internally. What is being a sadhu internally? I become a monk inside. I need not to wear the orange colored robes. I need not to put lot of uh, things on my forehead. I need not to grow my beard. Internally, that was the life of Krishna. That was the life of Shiva. Krishna only wore these orange colored robes when he was doing a practice under a master, Sandipani Ashram. Otherwise, he was full of all the, like our dear friend Boris. Do you know how much this watch cost? I said, I don't know. It cost $15,000. So the Krishna has all the jewelry. Very good. There's really, and then I started appreciating. He was very happy. I did not tell him, should I appreciate you or your watch? So this is, yes, we met in New Jersey. We had a good time. We had a good time with him. So once I have clarity, I have a strong foundation, then we will start the sadhana. I also started before, but now I'm starting totally in a different way. So your perspective changes and you are more practical and applied in your life. 5 verses, 40 steps. And I told you that it includes Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Tantra Yoga, all the yogas are. So it includes the best part of the Tantra, of the Bhakti, of the Karma Yoga. And that can easily be personalized depending on the individual. This master has done a great job. Raj Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, contemplation, Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan. It is all is. I want to spend little more time on the sadhaka, the qualified seeker. So you see that how I become a qualified seeker. I know the four aspects. The world is suffering. Satsang is important. Yes, it happened to one woman. Uh, she has been with me for almost 2 to 3 years, perhaps, and yeah. So she said, I'm totally upset and I am pissed off. I did not change myself. My daughter and my friends are saying that you are not going to change. You leave the practice. I said, leave it. Bye bye. But tell me what happened. So she said that I went to the party. No one appreciated me. I said, I got this clue. Did I teach any of these principles that whenever you go to the party, you continue to start seeking an appreciation and praise from others? Or did I teach something that is opposite of it? I asked you to appreciate each and every one, but don't seek an appreciation. So you are doing a meditation, you tell me that you are absorbed into meditation, but just after the meditation, you don't change your behavior. You still have the same seeking and desire. And you are asking me that, I have not changed. And now, my friend, you have asked me. No one in the world, near and dear, you will tell you. Don't seek an appreciation. Only I. So that is the second part, is the satsang. So she said, no, I'm sorry. Now I realize what is my mistake. Satsang does this. So satsang should awaken to me that sense of awareness. And third, we have already taught, because I follow that practice, so I have a realization and experiences, and that I remember when I wake up until I sleep to the night. So internally, outside you, nobody notices you are changing. Only when the time comes, time comes when you see your responses are repeatedly the same. Your responses comes from the state of the calmness, not from the hesitation. Then near and the dear ones will recognize, ah, you have changed a lot. You have a sense of calmness on your face. You do the things logically and step by step. And that is what I have already discussed. Four powers of the intellect and four types of intellect, four powers of intellect, and four results of the intellect that is going to change. And I have already told you, the crow, the swan, the dog, measure diet. That drops your detachment. That drops your detachment. And you see that I bring back. I have a understanding. I may be wrong, but I have an understanding that the three verses of the Gita completes all the 40 steps. Kama Krodha Viyuktanam. So I am free from the impurities of the mind. How come? Because of the four powers of the intellect. How I am free from? Because I have realized world is suffering because of the 8 and 9 factors, and I need not to go there. Even when you hear this and you think this, your mind projects, oh, that means I'm already calm. So where Krishna puts the beautiful way, yatinam yat chetasam. I'm reading this. For the self-disciplined seeker whose mind is disciplined. So we discussed all about four powers of intellect, four types of intellect. You see that I broke up into the parts so that it becomes very easy. Did I do this or did I not do this? And plus the satsang, yatinam yat chetasam. So here the master is saying that whose mind is disciplined. Discipline means what? That I'm doing regularly, repeatedly the same thing again and again until the final change comes. Satsang is there, practice is there, applying these principles to it. Abhitau Brahma Nirvanam. Those seekers recognize, they have a cognition that this real self is all pervading. They had a glimpse of it. Mind has an anxiety in relationship to someone. You reacted, you return home. Mind is always busy for at least 2 to 3 hours because of that anxiety. Mind has no freedom to think and contemplate about the real self. So he has already covered in the first line of the verse. Intellect understands the real self is all, understands. Vartate viditatmanam. What the fourth line of the verse? It exists for those who have known the self. So who knows it? My intellect recognizes that a real self is like the water in the mid of the waves, all the houses, but behind there is a space, only one space without this. The false depends on the real self. Waves depend on the water. Not only my anxiety depends on the consciousness, but also my peace. I have to make a choice. Because I recognize that I'm into anxiety. I recognize that I'm reacting. Very recognition because I'm conscious of it. I'm conscious of it means the consciousness is there. Nothing happened to the consciousness. Let the intellect come, mind come down. That is the message Krishna gives in this verse. He gives another verse. So when we follow the discernment and dispassion, what he says, shutting out all the external sense context. Shutting down does not mean that you close your eyes. He is talking of very higher state of meditation. That shutting down is mind is not moving with the dictate of the nature and the past impression. That is the meaning of shutting down. My master used to explain this where, what do you want to recognize your real self? Yes. So with the same sense organ you see the entire world. How come you close your eyes to see the real self? You cannot see. You see it with the open eyes. That means shutting down those movement of the emotions, past impression. Your mind now is very clear, even though the sense organs travels to the world, but no likes and dislikes, no reaction, no hesitation, no emotional dependence, no selfishness is there. That is what he means. What a beautiful way. Bahir bahyansh chakshush chaivantare bhuva. Now what he says that when you drop all this, there's another meaning. Sama dhamma titiksha uparati. I'm bringing all the principles. So you are doing that regularly, and now with those practices you recognize that your mind goes back again and again to the third eye. We have already discussed about the third eye. Means awareness. In Tantra tradition, we see that you are aware of the flow of the breath. So I brought the Tantra principle here. In Shaivism, there are 112 methods of meditation. One of them is to aware of the flow of the breath. Samukratva. So the way you see the flow of the breath in coming and outgoing breath, the same way you see the world with that sense of equanimity, equality. It means the mind is not subjected to the likes and dislikes, attachment, detachment. If it is not, then you have a sense of emotional freedom. So, emotion is both emotional dependence, emotional freedom. Because you are highly intellectual, I can see that you use your intellect to a highest level, so that emotion is suppressed. So you see emotional dependence, emotional freedom. In both the cases, emotion is there. In one case, the emotional dependence, guided, dictated by the strong likes and dislikes, you are suppressing that. That suppression has to be released. So you have an emotional freedom. Or simple, the way you love me, you love everyone. So sometimes we have these challenges because of our typical personality type. Na sabhya antar charino. So what is happening? Your mind is absorbed with the flow of the breath, and the flow of the breath both merges, tantra yoga, both merges at the eyebrow center. What happens? You are absorbed into meditation. When? Even with eyes open. Now the master is repeating again. That too is very important. So I was thinking why the master is repeating, because he wanted to be sure that whatever Krishna has taught, you are already in the meditation. So he wanted to be sure. So he says in the next verse, Yatendriyam mano buddhir. Are you aware? The objects of the senses merges into the sense organ merges into the mind merges into the intellect merges into the ego, and hold on there. You know all the entire journey from the objects to the intellect and ego, and stay there. Finish. You're already there. So now he is talking in a very polite manner, very soft and gentle. It means I need not to do any practice unconsciously by tamasic and the rajasic guna. I have to do it with shifting my awareness. It is just a shift of your awareness from objects to senses. That means object merges into the sense organ. It's a symbolic. Senses merge into the mind. There, how can the physical senses merge into the mind? So the mind that is throwing its consciousness, borrowed consciousness, to the sense organ has stopped. That is the meaning. Sense organ merges into the mind merges into the intellect. Why? You have a sense of emotional freedom. Then the master says, you have reached to that state? Yes, master. So do you have any intent? Do you have only one desire for liberation and awakening? You're still questioning. Oh, yes. Is that desire for awakening is free from the desire, fear, and anger? Yes. Fourth line of the verse. Yah sada mukta aivasa. You are already free. You are already awakened. I'm giving a different meaning now. So you say, Yah sada mukta. You are ever free. So there are many meanings hidden into it. I may be awakened, but I don't know. It's a new experience. It's totally a new experience. Mind does not retrieve from the past experiences. So the master is affirming, is confirming. Do you meet all the three conditions? Yes, you're already free. Recognize it. Look at the beauty of our Master Krishna. With the senses, mind, intellect, and the ego disciplined. Literal translation is disciplined, but I translate with that the object merges into senses, etc., etc. Then he says, that, do you have an intent for awakening? Still in that state? Yes, Master. Let me recheck. Are you still free from the desire, fear, and anger? Yes. The fear and anger means the world is suffering. You are away from it. Yes. Yah sada mukta. Sada, forever. Mukta, free. That is you now recognize this is your awakening state. So this is our awakening state. You see all the three verses I made it. Is it means it means what? In my daily life, in my personal, professional, social, and family life, I have to bring a tremendous changes based on these principles. In one word, mind dictated by the nature and the past impression. Now the mind should be dictated by the intellect. That is simple. You're very sharp intellectual, so think from the point of view of intellect. Did I perform this action today? Did I speak before I intellect said yes? Or I just went ahead through the mind? Mind was dictating me. So when I see the intellect, what is going to happen? I leave the world is suffering. I have a clarity of the mind. The mind will continue to gather such impressions, and ultimately these impressions are going to overpower. Now the pressure of the nature and the pressure of the past impression is here, my resources are here. It means intellect lives with the four types, four powers, for recognition and realization. In that state, when one practices meditation, one succeeds, whether you do it by with eyes open or eyes closed. That has nothing to do with it. So very good.